Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're going to take a look at part 2 of the Haunted Mansion display repurpose. And we're doing some carving work. We're trying to match everything up with the brickwork, put some new brickwork down. And I've done quite a bit of that, but I didn't want to do all of that without at least demonstrating some of it for you and kind of letting you see how that's taken place. And then we'll talk about what's coming next. So with that, let's jump in and take a look at some of the carving. Okay, well, I've got you sitting down here at the table with me, and I'm just going to kind of give you an idea of kind of what we're doing. So this is the carving that we're doing. This is the original base, as you remember. This is the added piece to that we've added on. None of this is really glued down to the base itself, but you can kind of see where it's matched here. And around here it's matched. So all of that has been done. That is the brickwork. And so now that is ready to paint. And so I've left aside this side here so I can demonstrate for you how that looks. Just one side, that way you're not bored to tears watching me carve the whole thing. It does take a little while, but let me show you the tool that I'm using and how that works. And then we'll set the tripod at a little different angle, and I'll start carving the other side of this, and then we'll need to paint it. Okay, so this is the Hot Wire Foam Factory handheld engraving tool. This is what I use to do all of my stone and brickwork for the most part. There are other ways to do it with a little bitty bricks on the Haunted Mansion display. Old school, I did that with a pencil. You can do all of this with a pencil. The grout lines will be much thinner. It'll take you a little while to do it. You can also do it with a ballpoint pen. There's another video that I did way back early when I started the channel that kind of explains some of the ways. I think it's in the tools video of how to use these tools and how you can use a pen or a pencil or what have you. And so, this is what we're going to use on this. And so really, if you kind of look back over here, it basically just goes in that and you just kind of go slow. Once you get the straight line all the way through, you just start bringing the lines down. So it's pretty simple, but it's very tedious, and you got to have a pretty steady hand because this thing gets really hot, and you can adjust the temperature, at least on the version that I've got, you can adjust the temperature. I've got you can't see it, but you can kind of see it right there. It is a box that has a heat adjustment knob on it that these tools plug into. So with that, let me readjust the camera and let's start carving the other side of the display. So essentially, I'm taking the continuation from these lines and bringing it around on that side. It's easier to see where I'm sitting versus where you're sitting. Okay, so here you need to make a line down the top to represent the top layer of bricks. Okay, so I wanted to give you a closer look before we paint it, just so you can kind of see the way that it's starting to shape up. And now, obviously, we're going to color match these bricks here. We can paint these a different color if we choose so they match the Haunted Mansion gate maybe a little bit better because the Haunted Mansion gate is a much more orange brick than these are here. These are mostly going to be covered by the fence, so you're not going to see a whole lot of that. I thought about maybe just painting them black or putting some grass. I certainly will put grass down around there, but I don't know how that's going to look until we get there. And so you can kind of see the way that that's starting to take shape. It's looking pretty good. It'll look a lot better once it has been painted, but that's a better and a more closer look at that. Okay, well, hopefully that gives you a better idea of how that carving goes. It's pretty simple, and the Hot Wire Foam Factory tools make it incredibly easy to do. You just gotta have the heat set right. That's why I like the adjustable heat transformer or whatever that is. It allows you to adjust the heat from really, really hot to really, really not hot. And so it allows you to vary the heat to give you different cutting abilities. And so as I was going along, I noticed on the video with you guys, I noticed that the heat was starting to deteriorate just from the long cuts. And so I turned it up a little bit to kind of do the down bricks, the down cuts. And it cut like butter. It went really, really quick. So that's a nice advantage to have. But those tools make this job so much easier. And then you saw when we zoomed in on it, it looks pretty good. It's only going to get better as we put the paint on it. And speaking of paint, that's what we're getting ready to do now. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll be back to show you what the final project looks like with black paint, and then we'll wrap this one up because I've got some other stuff I got to do, and I'm not going to be able to start painting the bricks. That is going to be tedious. We will do that on the next tutorial. Okay, well, I'm back in from painting, and I tried a new experiment today, and I'm pretty pleased, honestly, with the way it turned out as far as painting. I found some acrylic, actually water-based paint on Amazon in a spray can, and I bought 12 cans of it. It came in a case of 12. I don't remember exactly how much it cost, but it's a lot cheaper than I could find it at any of the crafting stores. And I want to show it to you. This is it. So if you're looking for spray paint, now this is, as you can see here, this is matte, what does it say? Matte jet black. And it is perfect for what I need. And it works incredibly well and incredibly fast. Now you do get some overspray, so you've got to mask things, and so may not have been the best idea on the Haunted Mansion, the first version that I sprayed a little bit and tried to mask it off. It wasn't great. I didn't destroy it. It's going to be covered by new grass anyway, so you'll never see it. But everything else, it was incredibly quick, and it goes on incredibly easy. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to use spray paint on foam, it has to be, I cannot re-emphasize this enough, it has to be water-based paint. It has to be water-based spray paint. And it says right there, water-based paint. If it's not water-based paint, if it's acrylic type paint, the chemicals inside of that can and that aerosol will eat through your foam. It'll go on real nice at first, and then you start looking at it, and it's just gonna start dissolving and eating your foam, and you will be upset. You don't want that, trust me, and I'm speaking from experience. Now, if you hold it back far enough, you can get a good coat, and it's probably not gonna do a whole lot, but you can get up close and personal with this stuff, and it works like magic. It's really, really good, and I highly recommend it. It saves you a lot of time if you're going to do black. Now, I would only do that as a base coat, a black coat, a gray coat. If I was gonna, if the whatever base coat color I was gonna use, it's okay to use the water-based spray paint. It's quick, and it dries so much quicker. You get back to work a lot quicker, and so it saves you time in the long run. So, hey, with that, let's jump off here and let you see how it turned out, and we'll talk about what's coming next. Okay, so here you can see how everything is starting to come together. I think it looks really good. It went on really smooth and really even, and just didn't take a whole lot of paint. It was pretty quick. And so you see, that is now the base coat, just how this one was when we first started before we put the color on it. So that's about how it's supposed to look. And it looks good on all the sides. It took really, really well. And when I said I was a little nervous on the other part, that part is over here. I got a little bit of the grass. You can kind of see that, a little bit of an overspray there, but that's okay because these are all gonna come out, and I'm gonna put new grass all the way over through here to kind of match this area here. And so I think that will clearly mask all of that anyway. So I'm not really concerned with it at all. And then everything else looks good. And then obviously the next phase that we will do is we are going to have to start painting all of these bricks, every one of them. And we'll do that with a mixture of browns and reds and some orange and just different colors. I gotta try to rematch this. It's gonna be difficult because I did this so long ago. So if I can get it close, I may have to repaint the whole front of it. I don't know. But again, I think the fence is gonna be here, the gate is gonna be here. So it's really gonna mask all of this stuff anyway. And then I'm planning on putting grass up and around the fence, so you won't see much of this. So I'm not too concerned up there. And so the primary focus will be painting all of this down here to get it to look the way that it's supposed to look. And then once we get the painting of the brick done, then we're gonna be ready. The next thing up here is gonna be putting that grass down. And so we'll get that grass put down after that, or probably maybe in the same session, I don't know. We'll try to get the grass put down here and get everything looking back to normal on the base part up here, and then we will be ready to start the fence. I think I will do the lighting for the haunted hearse and the hitchhiking ghost and maybe the singing bus. I'll probably do all the LED lighting last. And I think before I do that, I want to glue all of this down. So I think I need the fence done and everything done. That way I can just drill the holes with a hot wire tool right through the grass and start putting those LEDs all the way through and then running them out the back. And I'll demo that. You'll see how all that works. But I think it's going to be, it's moving along. It's looking pretty good. So pretty happy with the way that turned out. The next step, the next tutorial you will see will be the painting of the brick walls. Okay, well, hopefully that helps to explain the process of getting this ready. And hopefully you can see where it's starting to come together and it's starting to look the part. And I think once we get those bricks painted, I think it's going to change the game for it. I think it's going to look really, really good. I think you guys, hopefully it's going to look really good. I hope to be impressed along with you guys after it's all done. I made some pretty deep lines in the brickwork for a couple of reasons on the side. I think I might try to put some grout in those lines and actually brick them up to where it looks incredibly realistic if I can. That may or may not work. I may try it on a test piece and see how that's going to work, but that may be in the works. At least it's in the works up here. We'll see how it comes out as we get a little bit closer. The paint's got to be done first, and then we can do the grout and then spray some water on it, let it set up and cure. And then should look pretty good if it works the way I want it to work anyway. So there's that. So hey, like always, if you've liked this video, make sure you click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Certainly helps the channel grow. It helps helps me personally, and it helps if you share these videos with folks that are like-minded and getting excited for Halloween and getting ready for some of these builds that are coming up. So with that, take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you again real soon.